Hey, it's a rose pollination video. Enjoy.
The purpose of the vodcast that you're viewing is to determine the value of roses to various pollinators in your landscape. We're going to talk about the types of roses, why pollinators visit flowers, and why plants need pollinators. We're going to give you some general rose information as relates to their reproduction. And the main thing that we're going to tell you about is the fact that roses are not very desirable to most pollinators. And some are a little more so, namely wild roses, but in general, roses are not recommended for a pollinator-friendly landscape. We're also going to give you some recommendations for other plants for pollinator-friendly landscapes.
The rose genus can be found throughout the world but is native to the northern hemisphere. This genus contains 130 native species as well as thousands of rose hybrids and cultivars. The rose genus can be subdivided into two categories, wild and hybrid roses. Wild rose flowers generally have 5 petals, while hybrid flowers have many more. Both types of roses can flower at more than one time throughout the growing season. Hardiness is variable, so you should check with your local garden center for additional information. Roses also have a very aggressive root system, which can help them resist fire and also reduce erosion, which is beneficial to their surrounding ecosystem.
There's pros and cons to both native and hybrid roses, but it is important to remember that native roses provide a more accessible flower with slightly more pollen, whereas hybrid roses may be more attractive to people. They add basically no beneficial nutrients for pollinators. Also, an important fact to know about roses is honeybee pollinators are not attracted to the red-colored roses. Although neither sides provide much nutrients, native roses are more beneficial in the landscape for pollinators.
Roses are visited by generalist insects. These insects collect nectar and pollen from the flower. These generalists include honeybees and bumblebees as well as flower flies. Interestingly, flower fly larvae are excellent predators of aphids, which add to the beneficial relationship between the flower and the insect. It is important to note that most hybrid roses do not have any nutritional value to pollinators, so these pollinators would be more successful with native roses. Due to the interlaced rows of petals in hybrid flowers, it is difficult for pollinators to access pollen and nectar, which reduces the benefit of hybrid roses to pollinators in the landscape.
Pollinators visit flowers for two primary reasons: nectar and pollen. Nectar is used for carbohydrates, which is converted into energy, and pollen is used for protein, which contains essential nutrients for bee larvae development and other biological functions. Flowers need pollinators for a variety of reasons. Without these pollinators, cross-fertilization will not happen. This process is needed for increased variability, seed development, and overall reproductive success. An example of improper fertilization can be shown in this misshapen green pepper and rose flower. Here are a few recommendations of native roses that are helpful to pollinators. If you do choose to use modern horticultural roses, make sure they have open, accessible, and open flower structures that contain significant pollen. Also, be sure to use roses that do not require pesticides, fungicides, and insecticides.
The image shown is a picture of a native rose garden habitat. In the pollinator preferred habitat, there is a large diversity of plants with a variety of flower shapes, sizes, height, colors, and bloom periods. There is also nesting and resting areas for the pollinators, as well as a chemical-free habitat. Of course, the pollinator-friendly landscape has a source of water and also uses native plants and local ecotype plants.
We want to thank you for watching our rose pollination video, and here are a few resources that you can view for pollinator-friendly landscapes. Thanks for watching.
Every rose has its thorn. Every rose has its thorn.